Alright, went ahead and made a new alt so it's a lot easier for everybody to see. When you first start off, around Castle 2 or 3 is when you stop being able to where you can do what you want from the story stopping you. You want to constantly keep hitting these enemies because after you upgrade your castle level, it will fully fill your energy. You want to start off with infantry, obviously, at start. When it comes to infantry, I would say focus on anti-counter. Don't work on counters because you're going, left to right, starting off. As far as units to make, I would say start with throwers because that is your first enemy is infantry and counters. Throwers counters infantry, so you want to start making S tiers. So when you go through the chapter, it's a lot easier and you get more from it. Um, After that, just keep making sure you level everything up, and there are certain buildings you don't want to continue with. For instance, Arsenal, you don't want to go past 5 because to enhance your units to R2 at the beginning is Arsenal 5. So since you're going down the list, you don't want to go ahead past 5. There's just no reason at the point. You can maybe go one more level to, if you accidentally get an extra few, you can put it into it, but honestly, really no point. I would say keep this all the way up to 6 at the beginning. I mean, you can keep doing it for training speed, but if you want, you mostly want to push to get more from taking higher bounties. You can't get any higher. For instance, if I went to go take out a level 12, can't due to, I'm not being the right castle level. So in the beginning, as always, it's just an early grind to where you get things done. For instance, it may take you an hour, 2 hours, depends on what you got to do. For instance, you got to make eggs in the morning. Obviously you can't be on it all the time, but you just got to be a little bit quick with it. Little tidbits you probably want to try out is the VR arena. When you get to start doing this, when the more higher you get up, the more you'll start getting Lucas. All right, just want to make sure. Yeah, that was Lucas. You get him to where he's maxed out 2-star, maybe even close to 3-star when you get all the way up to rank 1. Uh, Rank 420 is when you first get him to first star level, or I think that's when you unlock him. And then, obviously you want to probably go down probably military first, or it depends how your gameplay. Like for instance, some people like to do gathering most. At the beginning, you pretty much want to keep everything level to where everything's pretty much the same level, and to a certain extent. I would say around 6 or 7 is when you just start castle pushing as far as you can, and then if you need to upgrade them, you can. Probably obviously always need to focus on lab to get more and better stuff. School's pretty good. I wouldn't really worry about rallying and all that because there's gonna be always somebody higher than you. Obviously with outlaw and everything, they'll be bigger, so you want them to start doing the rallies. Um, Maybe if you get attacked, I mean, since this is not really a very high pick server, you don't really need the communication center up. But I mean, you obviously want to keep it a little bit. Obviously, you want to always keep this to where when you go to hit something with 30k units, you want to have around the same amount. So if you do die with all your troops, they don't all die. And 2 heroes, basically, Vic and Steve. The best way to get them is the supermarket right above school. Haven't unlocked it with this account, but I think it's Castle 6 or it's in the stories when you start unlocking that. You can get a few enhancement parts. I wouldn't go for equipment. It's best to use, your 150 daily here. You also get, don't forget, you also get that free dollar one every day. And don't forget to always check your alliance treasure to help out people because, everybody needs to get resources and speed ups really early. So to make sure you get done with that so everybody, benefits from you being in the alliance. Um make sure to use the proper counters. I don't know if y'all want to join it, but I do have a Discord made already with, for instance, these story missions, the quizzes they give you. I have all of them that they could possibly give you. It stops at chapter 11, but it continues to chapter 16/17. But it doesn't have anything after that. It doesn't have any questions after 11 or 12. But I have them all in Discord. Made it. I'll put it down in the description for everybody to go look at. Info, game tactics. If you haven't seen the picture of this already, this is the counters. They pretty much tell you, but this is just a lot easier to see. If you need to screenshot that, or I can send it to you if you need it. If you need any of this information, that's also all the forts. Just so basically, you have to clear all of them to get to the fort. I guess I'll go through the front. I have 1 through 10 on this. I also have. Basically, I wanted to try to explain how to do the reforming on gear. So obviously, you want to click your hero, click on the gear itself, and then reform equipment. When you level up your, heroes, when you use the equipment parts, basically, the blue or these things. Let me show you. These. When you use these, that's what increases these buffs also. So it does increase your damage and stuff like that, but you also want to have... So like, for instance, this is your normal one. It will always stay. But this is your first buff. When you get to level 30, that's your next one. And then 60 is your last third one you'll get. Let me look. There's a little bit more... sometimes you want to make sure you lock it if it's a really good one, because if you don't lock it, then you can, lose it by mistake. Obviously, as I said, you can get Vic and Star from the supermarket. Speed ups are totally trash. I mean, this one's pretty alright, but I mean, it totally depends. But the floored, never get the green ones. The green ones are never worth it. I would say maybe the white ones that they give you, like 30 for 27, which is pretty decent. Biochemical cores, participate in alliance explorations, that will help you most for that. As I said, once you get to 450, that's when you first get him unlocked. You want to focus in the shop, always get these enhancement parts, and I will say DNA packs. Those are what's probably best. Later on, it'll change. You can use it on speed ups and gathering bonuses and stuff like that for the gathering event. Always change your character. For instance, if like I just realized I really like Lucky. She has a paralyzation ability as her first one, so you can have her in another one, and that will change what. So, like, for instance, somebody attacks you, that's your 2 defending heroes. So you want to change it to, for instance, your best heroes always. It's always best to make ults, as I always say, always better to make them during these revival events. Because it's like, for instance, construction, I just started. I mean, I'm ranked 29, but I just started this small account, and I'm already this far. And I did like Jack Diddley Squad. I haven't used speed ups. I just used, obviously what's here. I'll obviously get higher once I have all the speed ups. I'm just waiting to use them when I need to for the energy. This new event, which is about the Intis retreat, make sure when you're hitting it that, if there's 5 people going to it, no point in hitting it. After 2 or 3 people hit it, it dies. And then there's a new weakness, which if you don't know where the weakness is, it is right here. Also look for this. If you wait for that to give you a really good bonus, you get a lot of stuff when it dies, when you participated in that exact fight. And the catalyst, if you have, like, for instance, like on my main, I'm maxed to where I can't even use these no more. I love to turn them into these. And to refresh them, I love to use these so I can get, for instance, speed ups to change. It'll give you like 1 or 5 speed ups to turn into 30-minute speed ups. But you want to work down the line, obviously you want to max your first hero. I've just started, and because the way I've done it, I'm almost R1 with my first one. It's 15 all across the board. It's like, for instance, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, and that equals 75, so I can start to upgrade that one. And then you just go down the list, basically. As far as using your cash goes, I would probably, as I said, just use it for the vault. That's best what you can do it. I have almost all mine to level 30, and the reason why I did that is because, the gathering. That's what's been mostly hurting me on my new one, so I hurried and got that done. And then you can also try different tactics. For instance, some of them help with snipers and cannons. Some of them do double damage with cannons. Obviously, you have the new, you have Jennifer, which helps you with paralyzation, which is awesome, by the way. That's very helpful. There's not much to do at the very beginning. Obviously, you'll have to change things. On here, as far as unit medals, I haven't unlocked it yet. My new character will, when I upgrade it the first time. Never go past, green. You want to get everything to green first. Then try to get everything to blue. Try to get a blue one, then switch that. If you are trying to change, for instance, let me go to my main real quick. If you want to switch your accounts back, click manage account. You go to, for instance, whichever one you wanted to go for. And then you just click that one account you were at, basically. So don't worry, you didn't lose it, just go back into the one you were using. But if you're wondering why you have a blue medal and you can't use it, for instance, when you get rank 1 units, you can only have battle medals for the first one. Right here, I'll show you. Battle medals for the first rank, and then assistant medals for the second, which is right here, and then exclusive medals for the third one. And then I think it goes, these can be either or. No, that one, yeah. This one's another battle one, and this one's another assistant one. So 2 battle and 2 assistant, and then 1 special exclusive one, which does a lot of damage. Which, I know, like for instance, me, I have one that's, let me get that off. Might be best to look at medal collection. Give me 1 second. Okay, this is if you go to the medal collection, you can look at the ones you already have. I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of hard to exactly see what you have. I forget to also explain it. You can find them easier here in the items bag. You just go down medals. For instance, that's the reason why I'm having a problem is because I can't get that one until I get R4. And then it's just, as I said, it just changes on whoever uses it. Also wanted to let you know, when you go to sleep, always put it as a volume 1. It increases it by 1,000. And for instance, like it's 20 hours. I can sleep and probably sleep in for another few hours and I'm good. I don't have to be on. Research is going to obviously take a while. I've maxed it out and I still have like 8 hours, which it's much, but you come back in like a few seconds and it feels like it's already been done. As far as defense wise, I would use mostly howitzers, which is battle vehicle, and throwers. As I said, I would use throwers, so that's a problem. Everybody's going to be using that tactic always, is to get more throwers at the beginning. So they're going to have more throwers at the beginning. And then obviously have battle vehicles, because that's the best defense. Obviously, because it has more health than the infantry. Infantry has 336, 1920 health. I do have it as R3, R2, 14. And it's also how many of upgrades I have put into from research. So it all depends on which ones you use, but it seems that as far as strength-wise, battle vehicles get it done, always. And then also for the police station, don't want to ever go before over 15 because it stops at positions, which is, the total heroes you can have defending or the buffs from them. I have mine at 15 because, like, look, I'm stuck. I can't do anything no more. The only thing you can get more is the chest time, how much it refreshes, and then the captivity people, but, nobody's hitting each other to get captives. And everybody that ain't playing don't have captives, so there's just no point. Um, in the VR arena, I would say spend your coins always on these fluorides. It's the best to use it on. It helps you so much to, keep ahead. Um, Always make sure to use your buffs. Use combat training to hurry and speed up, your energy production. Like, for instance, I'm like 130. I'm going to use that in a few seconds. Hurry, get me done, and then obviously that. Occasionally you will always get information right where the smell thing is at about information about, for instance, like troop load and everything. You can get your pretty much information, for instance, like what specific turrets you need or what they counter. It says it right here. I'll show it with this. Shows it right here in all of them, on every single one of them you go for. As far as the information sheet, I love to go to training. When you click on that, and right here, there's a little icon right here. It tells you every single troop's like specific details. So, like, for instance, on this one, it's, shows you the load, how much it costs upkeep, the marching speed, its exact details it needs, what position it's at, obviously all the questions it asks. And using specific troops, I will let you know that some of them are a bit tricky. For instance, everybody's like, okay, yeah, use counters. So, like, you'd be like, oh, riders, cannons, and snipers. Not cannons, because of the issue that the riders or the battle vehicles will rip it to shreds. So don't use what they can counter you, always. Don't you ever do that. That will give you a bad score, bad injury. That's just going to cost you so much. Just have, like, for instance, attacking Jag, have riders. I would have the battle vehicles to protect me, and then have the snipers to take out the throwers. A little information on the forge items. If you didn't know, if you go to the bottom right over here, there's a small chance if you use what other people have been using on that exact day. Like, for instance, if I want to use what Vlad did, and I use that exact amount, I would have a chance to also get what he got. When you are hitting these chests, don't forget you get shards. Always make sure you go to your interior officer. Make sure you upgrade them. When you get in here, use this. When you click on that, it'll let you use those, green officer shells you have. Just click that, make sure you can get it. Max that out, whichever one you want to go for. In the vault, you want to, I would say, always go for the shards first. So these right here on every single level, it's always on the last one. Gives you free shards of heroes first. Then get the evolve medal, which, will obviously help you. Like, for instance, I'm stuck. I need like 300, so you're gonna need quite a bit. Always go for the highest one, even if it's like rank A. Try to, because it's like you only get 3 at these. That's like double on number 5. If you have a friend that you know and trust, a little cheat thing I like to do is get 2 accounts on Death 21, have them both play, have one win 4 times, then you get these rewards for free, and then you lose 4 times to the other account, so they get the rewards. I would say, just for, to get, a good amount of resources, just always use 1 cash. One of these, I like to do that just to get me a little bit good resources. Is just $1 to get like 50k, so it's like, it's kind of worth it. If you don't not know how to reform units, you just go here and then it will say like right around where speed is when you've already got done building your units to reform them. Um, if you need to know details about your units, like how many troops you have and exactly what unit, what they're at, that's how you can check. If you need to know about your upkeep and everything, if you go to your town hall, click overview, that explains everything. Yes, I'm in debt. I'm in like 20k in debt, but it doesn't really feel worth it to try to work on that. Exactly. Else is there? There's also some things that I guess some people haven't already learned. In your MCV, if you go to reinforce it, you can also, when you're going to attack something else, for instance, let me recall. One second, I'll recall these for you so you can see it. Alright, so like if you want to attack something and it was like super far away, or you need to like, for instance, get that achievement where you hit like 100 hit enemies 100 times, you can honestly reinforce it. I would probably send it out with, your MCV. But when you go to attack, you can go and click attack, but instead of clicking your town, at the top right over here, you can click MCV and you can attack from that. Which the only way to get your proper amount, because it is way less than what you usually have without your heroes. I think it's way under how many times you can send your regular heroes, like a regular for a march. You have to increase that in your research, and you also have to increase it by doing the parts to increase it. Don't forget, like for instance, this new event, the Ernest, or I can't really, it's a weird name. I really can't understand it. Always use your little buffs. That really seems to help. You can for instance just honestly one shot it yourself. When starting off a new character, you can also do something that I really like is when you're starting off a new one. Let me go to my new account. Alright, when you make a new account, obviously during the let me just try and get this done. When you're making a new account, there is the 7-day trial, which ends after 7 days. It doesn't matter if you weren't on or not, it's just gone. Obviously get that dollar pack that's usually like right below rank up. You get a free, hero. You get, a lot for the very first one. It's just $1.08 to be exact. Actually 9 cents because it's, US. It's just $1 to get a free hero basically, which is very helpful at the beginning. I think that's all I exactly know at the moment, or it's the only thing I could think about. I've legit went over this game about 100 times to try to think of anything more. If there's something that you're confused on or need help with, or there's some things that you heard about that you wanted to know is true or you didn't know exactly about it, just let me know in the comments. I'll explain that.